Good evening to everybody. Good evening. I want to welcome you people, and in welcoming you, I apologize again that we are starting this meeting late. We had proposed to do this meeting at 2 because we have other engagements by these ministers here. As a matter of fact, one of us is traveling to Lagos to get out of the country for an official duties. But he has to be here. His flight is this evening. And I had an appointment with Mr. President fixed for 3 o'clock. That necessitated our moving the meeting to 4. Apologies to everybody. We also want to welcome you, and in welcoming you, emphasize that we are not happy as a government side that this meeting is going backward and forward. We are not happy about that because we thought that by now we should have been coming to the end of this conciliation. The CBA would have emanated from here. This is a collective bargaining agreement meeting in which we discuss an issue of an allowance that is prevailing in the health sector. This allowance is the hazard allowance. We have laid to rest the issue of retirement age, and Ministry of Health and Head of Service of the Federation office that are handling that one. So this particular meeting is a meeting that we are attending with very mixed feelings. Number one is that the two major unions here, the NMA, wrote us a letter giving us a new position paper, and that position paper, they didn't give us adequate notice for the government team to look at it. But much more worrisome is the fact that we got also 2 letters from Johesu. And in one of the letters was a letter giving us ultimatum on this particular discussion and issuing what somebody can call trade dispute notice for strike, 15 days ultimatum. As if that was not enough, the resident doctors also wrote a letter that was in the same vein, talking about other issues that were on the table for discussion. Just like the letter from the Johesu, they modeled up outstanding issues with budget office of the Federation, IPs, and the rest of them all. And also, from their neck, they gave a 30 days ultimatum for strike. The Johesu did not even stop in with their own, because their major grounds was that the NMA shifted ground from a payment being made in 2009, which gave block payment to medical doctors and health professionals. They said the NMA moved away from that and said they now want percentage, and government is listening. When government earlier said we won't do percentage. They talked about those whose the industrial dispute they had that was resolved in NSCN, National Industrial Court. Those who went on strike in 2018, their salaries were not paid for, I think, 2 months. When they embarked on a strike that lasted about 3.5 months. These are unfair labor practices by the 2 unions. Very unfair labor practices, and they are not entertained in the ILO principles at work for CBA negotiations. You don't issue ultimatum while you're on a discussion and then bring in extraneous things that are not pertinent to the discussion. This discussion is for hazard allowance. When we finish this discussion, if you have other issues, you can bring them up. When you bring those other ones up, the relevant government departments and ministries that are involved will come. But this particular one, you are dealing with the Presidential Committee on salaries and allowances. That's why you see the Minister of Finance, State, representing the main minister and himself, and the budget office also represented here. So we don't like this. It's arm twisting, and it's not allowed. It's not allowed. So I've asked my office to do you two a letter or letters to tell you that what you're doing is not allowed, even by the ILO principles at work and on negotiation. You don't go and twist. You don't issue us ultimatum. But if you want to persist on your ultimatum, if you go on strike, we apply our own cane. We have something to protect the employer with. So you don't do that. It's not right. I read those letters and I'm very annoyed. I'm not happy about that. It's an act of bad faith. If you have other issues, let us finish the two issues we have on ground here. We finish with them. And in any case, who said that a union cannot ask for a new thing? I'm not making case for NMA. They said they want percentage. We listened to it, we recorded it, but we know where we started. At the starting of this business, we said that the percentages are not going to be done by government. We said so. So if they are now offering us something and saying, give us this percentage, it falls within the ambit of the fund you say you have allocated for this purpose, we must listen. If you also give us another proposal that also falls within the ambit of what we are talking, we will listen to you, Johesu. So we don't like this. We want to have this discussion and end it, if possible, today. Let us end this discussion today. Because the more time we waste on this discussion, you are losing. You are losing because I don't know how you want to do it. If you want to now start saying the areas from when. So I want this thing to be concluded so that we can discuss application, implementation immediately. So let nobody push us backward and forward. We're going to reply your two letters. And in reply, we're also going to tell you what we feel about what you've done. It's not right. NMA, NAD gave us a warning letter or a TD, a trade letter, trade dispute notice of going on strike. We don't want that. And I'm surprised because, Honourable Minister, you're welcome. We welcome Minister of Health, who is your direct employer. Clap for him now. Honourable Minister, I'm talking to your workers. So your workers went and wrote us warning letters here for strike. When a discussion is on the table, it's wrong. So that's what we are telling them. Get into the discussions and as much as possible make it snappy because Minister here is traveling abroad and is about to leave.
As you know, we are all worrying about this third wave of COVID-19. And I want to use the opportunity here to also urge cooperation from everybody, not only yourselves, but all those who are working with you, working under you, who you are supervising. We have, first of all, these non-pharmaceutical measures, the public health measures that have been mentioned. We also have all of them, including social distancing, masks and all. Then we have a vaccine. Vaccine is very difficult to find now because everybody is looking after their own interests. And Nigeria is trying to push for support to establish a vaccine production site in our country here to serve the African continent. We are competing against Senegal, South Africa, and Tunisia. So if we don't put our best foot forward, we will not be able to get it, although we are the biggest market, biggest consumer for vaccines. So that's part of what we are dealing with now, to have the support of the international community. We have met with the European ambassadors and also the German ambassador to support us in this quest. So we need to be able to say that all our health workers are on board, they are with us, and there is no threat to the health system. Because part of what we need to portray is that the health system is solid and firm, it's reliable, it's not shaky, and so that investor confidence will not be shaken by the fact that they believe our country is unstable. So that has a very big role to play, perception. So for that reason, I want to ask that we have one approach, one unity, and I want to thank specifically the Honourable Minister of Labour for his tireless endeavour to see that these matters are addressed. The Honourable Minister of State for National Planning, Finance, Budget and National Planning, and also the Honourable Minister of State for Health, who has been very much in front in dealing with the issue here. And I thank you all and pray for your good health and cooperation. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
My appeal is that we conclude this matter today, because each time we come in here, we're also losing time in terms of other things that are waiting to be attended to. So my appeal is, please, let's get this thing over. We've stayed here for too long. My appeal is that we get this thing through this time around. Thank you very much.
I want to appreciate and accept your apology, because we know that your office is loaded with so many things. If going to see Mr. President to conclude this our meeting today, would have been most happy, and believe that probably that is part of the consultation. On the part of Nigerian Medical Association, we are more anxious now than ever before, because the little we have in our purse is draining. Each time we come here, we have to pay for everybody that is here. We are not all in Abuja, and probably we may have to discuss with the Honourable Minister for Labour and Employment to foot the bill. This is for our people, because we are actually going down. What it means that we believe in NMA, that we are not holding anybody back, like the collective bargaining agreement. We know that what we are saying is correct and just and fair, and we believe that the representatives of government will look at our scientific approach and fair approach to our demand, our request for the hazard allowance. If before it was railroaded that everybody who is working in the hospital should get the same hazard allowance, we want to point out very clearly that the risks are not the same. If it's because of money that we say the risks are the same, then that is not correct. The risk we face are as varied as our various professions. And we must accept that as it is. And I plead that also we accept this. I also say that if we say the risks are the same, then why junior and senior? Why are we not paying for people who come to the hospital just to pass through, because they also face risks? Why are patients not being paid hazard allowance? Because staying in the hospital, we have what we call nosocomial infection. patient may come with the hospital and acquire some diseases as a risk. So our presentation is fair and is just. And I want to plead that we look at it favorably and accept the position of the Nigerian Medical Association. Thank you very much, sir.
In the interest of all, that the government is quite willing to see the end to this negotiation as timely as possible. And from the Johesu family also, we are of that opinion that we are not supposed to linger longer than necessary. But in doing it, we have always emphasized on the issue of equity, not equality. We have also emphasized on the principle of collectively bargained agreements that streamed down from 2009 and the review of that 2009 collective agreement that was done in 2014. And if you remember, Honorable Minister, sir, during our last presentation, we copiously quoted that we have an instrument that supports that stand on which we are making our discussion or argument. And we have already, you asked us to submit it if we are sure of it. We have transmitted that to the government, and we have some copies here as well to buttress our claim. So whichever level we want to go to, our point still remains that whatever is applicable to that cohesive salary that was a product of collectively bargained agreement, which the hazard allowance was part of the ingredients that made it up. So be it, that is the principle on which we are standing. So if whatever government decides today, that principle, if it's upheld, we don't have any issue. And we want that to be the highlight of our discussion today. The government has already given us a standard. They have given us the rule of the game and the rule of engagement from the onset. And we are ready to abide by that rule of engagement. And we want to see this negotiation done today, done and dusted today. And we shall sign the MOU as we shall agree on that principle. Thank you very much.
This is a collective bargaining agreement meeting. You don't expect it to end in one day. And there are about 10 unions involved and 2 associations. The NMA is an association, but we treat them like union. NARD association, we treat them like union. Consultants, same. Then you have the pharmacists, you have the nurses, you have radiographers as association, medical lab. So both sides, because we are taking it as a holistic meeting, ordinarily we can separate them because the others are bunched and formed an amalgam called Johesu, Joint Health Sector Unions. But the others also came under NMA because NMA is the parent body. We would have separated into Johesu and NMA, but that will give us much problem in terms of implementation or whatever we agree on. So we are taking them conjointly, and it's yielding fruit now. The 2 big bodies have given their final position now. So government has taken the final positions back. And I also allowed them, because their positions differ, we have also allowed them time to see if they can discuss among themselves, like they did just before the COVID, and we came out with a COVID hazard allowance. But given them that time, that same ample opportunity to see if they can meet and harmonize their positions. We are adjourning Sinedai for the government side to also look at those 2 positions, see whether we can do a middle of the road using our organ, the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, that by their mandate is the government organ that fixes salaries wages and allowances and remunerations, anything remuneration.
All right, Honorable Minister, the last meeting that you had, you told us right here that the government offered over 300% increase in the issue of allowance. Yes. Are you telling us now that there's no consensus? Is that what you're saying?
We offered that, and that came to a quantum of money. That's 7.5 billion. That's what it comes to. So we are trying to walk within that realm of 37.5. So that's why I told you that the positions differed. The proposals they have submitted differs, and they're not able to harmonize down. We also will take both positions back to Presidential Salaries Committee and look at it with salaries, incomes, and wages. And then we can then take a government position based on that.
It appears this is a very teething problem. It has dragged on for more than 3 months.
It is.
Is it going to be?
It is because every side has some CBAs already. And we are now renegotiating all those CBAs. There's a CBA in 2002, 2006, 2009, 2013, and even some court pronouncements, National Industrial Court, in terms of equal work and equal pay, equal work value and equal pay. So these are the things we are going to put on a weighted basket and check.
So as the chief mediator, can you give a timeline to when Nigerians should expect an end to this back and forth negotiation?
It's a money discussion. It's a very serious issue when you are discussing money. And we don't want them to say we are stampeding them. And of course, you know that perception and reality, I keep on saying, is on any given situation, you have to tread cautiously. I'm a medical doctor. The two health ministers are medical doctors. So some of the people we are conciliating come from our constituency. But as chief conciliator, I'm clear that I don't belong to any constituency here now. I'm just a Nigerian doing my job.
Okay, Excellency, your resolution on the strike notices.
No, I told them to withdraw because it's arm twisting. It's not allowed in ILO CBA negotiations. They know. I told them. So we expect them to withdraw those notices they gave. Joyesu gave 15 days ultimatum with effect from 28 June. National Association of Resident Doctors gave, I think, 28 days ultimatum from when they have their neck.